So we're about 10 months into Tekken, and one of the main things that I've seen across social media while lurking in streams is a lot of people claiming that Tekken is just a guessing game, is a casino, it's a whole bunch of buzzwords going around to describe the fact that these characters will be making you guess a lot. One thing I've started to hyper focus on is how the pros handle these guessing games. To us, it seems unintentional, but as I'm playing the game more, I'm learning it is very intentional, whether it be through labbing, whether it be through just reflexive play. They handle these guessing game scenarios very well, if not ignoring the situation at all. From my learning, from my studying the pros, and from consistent trial and error, I tried to break down the main three ways pros or just top players in any of these fighting games, it doesn't even have to be just Tekken, but three ways I noticed the pros tend to handle these guessing game situations better than you and I. Starting with my first point being that they know how to prioritize the most dangerous options or group the weaker ones. One of the best examples of this are the openers. I'll call them either the coin flips or the casino entries. I'm gonna use June's Izumo stance for this example. She has multiple options: high strings, a low, a mid heat engager, a power crush, and a command grab. The reason why pros or those top players may not be as susceptible to this is because of that grouping method, right? If I block mid by default, how many options do I beat by blocking? I beat the power crush, I beat the launcher, I beat the heat engager, I beat the strings, and the only things I really have to worry about by ducking mid is breaking the throw or eating the damage from the low. The low is gonna put you in a knockdown state, so you might have to block an incoming mix at best. If you block low, you're only blocking three options, right? You're ducking under the command grab, you're ducking under the strings, or you're blocking the low, which works like a hell sweep, which will give you the launch damage from it. You get to launch and combo off it. From this grouping, you relieve yourself from more potential pain by blocking mid, but if you're able to call out that either they're gonna throw the low or they're gonna commit to the strings, that would be the reason you duck and try to get some damage out of it. But for the sake of being safest, blocking mid is your best option. Which leads me to my second point. Some pros are just willing to push through the pain, both figuratively and literally. Figuratively because some of those options, like I said with June's low, some people are just willing to take that damage. If they have a life lead, like their life is not on the line, they're willing to just block mid, and if they guess wrong and eat the low, it's just a little bit of damage. In some cases, you might still have the life lead and you might just have to think about the upcoming mix, but that little chunk of damage may not hurt you as bad as overthinking the situation and eating something way riskier. And I say push through the pain literally because some of these character setups are fake. A lot of these characters that just get away with pressing buttons, think of your Hwarangs, your Ninas, characters like that. Some of these characters in their pushing endeavors are really negative in some of those interactions. It's just that the character can seem so intimidating that you just think I never have a chance to press. No, you have a chance to press. You're just pressing most likely at the wrong time, which is why I say for characters like that, labbing is a little bit more important than you could expect. So that way you can see the numbers to know, okay, if they throw this out, technically their turn is over if you know about it. Otherwise, they're most likely just going to keep pressing. But some of these pro players have either labbed the situation out to know, okay, your offense stops here. Anything past this is kind of fake. You're just throwing moves out for the sake of throwing them out. I'm just gonna stop you right here. Or there are certain openings that the character may have, strings that may allow you to duck, which in the moment may seem like, okay, I have no option. But once you lab it, you can be like, okay, he tends to throw this move out in this situation. If he does it again, I know because I labbed it that I can duck this part of the string, or I can sidestep this part and either punish or go for a launcher through movement instead of, oh, they're so negative that now it's my turn. Which leads me to my final point. They understand how to avoid the problem completely.
if the situation permits it. Think Zhao Yu's FF4, right? It's a kick that on hit or on block puts her in the hypnotist stance, but it's a high. Once you learn that it's a high, you can just duck it entirely and not even have to worry about the following mix-up and potentially punish. Since it's a whiffed move, moves like Reyna's FF2, I'm pretty sure are now more steppable, but it's a punch. I'm pretty sure some characters with a punch parry can parry the FF2. That's not an option that you would normally think about, but some pros might have labbed that to find that out and be like, oh, I can do this. I don't have to worry about the FF2 mix-up from Reyna because I can either just punch parry it or sidestep it, find some movement around it to not even have to worry about that being a threat anymore. Now, I understand one of the main gripes people have with labbing is doing just that, sitting down and labbing, especially when it's from another fighting game player telling them, oh, you suck because you don't get in a lab. You don't ever want to lab and get better. I understand how infuriating that can be. So some of the things I've done, instead of just sitting in practice mode for 30 years, practicing every string to figure out, my option is going in VOD replays. If I remember being in the moment of a match being like, oh, I shouldn't have got hit by that, or I blocked that, or stuff like that, I can go back in the VOD replay to find out, okay, was I pressing too many buttons, or like was I trying to backdash at a time where I should have just held block and it counted the in-between input as me not blocking, so I got hit? Or if I'm like, I shouldn't have got hit by that, is there a way that I should have sidestepped or used movement to get out of this situation? Or did I really have no other option but to just block and eat whatever mix might have been coming next? Or the second option is watch the pro players. If these players have been pros for 3,700 years, most likely they know some of these strings already. They're familiar with a lot of the moves in this game. So you might see your streamer, your content creator, your whoever, just duck it instinctively and teach you, oh, I didn't even know you could block that part of the string. I didn't even, you might find it out at that time. Or some of these pro players lab on stream. So at the same time they're finding out, oh, I can duck that, oh, I can sidestep that, you were there to also see it, so that if you end up against an opponent that throws that move out a lot, you can remember, oh, I remember being in that stream where the streamer did that one thing, or I watched that video where the content creator did that one thing and stepped the move or ducked this part of the move, and this person seems to be doing it a lot, so I'm going to try and do it this time. If you're not the one doing the labbing, you don't have to be the one in the lab. You can learn by watching other people learn. Shoot, I've done it.
But like I said, these are some of the things that I've picked up on when trying to improve at this game, whether it be playing it myself, watching other people play, watching tournament footage. These are just some of the things that I've hyper fixated on and tried to figure out, like, okay, is Tekken really as guessing game heavy as people call it out to be? Are they just being, super dramatic? Like, what is it? And maybe this helps one of you all. Maybe this is the reason why you start watching your VODs and trying to figure out, can I step this? Can I duck this? Is this a punish? Are they negative? Maybe this helps you be more attentive when watching other people play, so that if they duck a move, you could be like, what was that they ducked? And, go back, clip a part of the stream or go back in the video to be like, oh, that's how you punish that? That's how you react to that? And gives you more insight in trying to get better at this game like I am. Or any fighting game that you might be playing. If this did end up helping you in any way, shape, or form, be sure to like the video and let me know in the comments. I do read and respond to comments. Y'all have been very insightful in helping me get better at this game, believe it or not. So let me know in the comments. And if you did enjoy the video, feel free to sub up. I've got a bunch of other content like this, some shorts of my gameplay and things that I learned on there. So it's gonna be a good time. Thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you in the next one.